Hello, everyone. Welcome to All the Things with Julie Miller Davis. I am Julie Miller Davis, believe it or not. I am the CEO and founder of JMD Productivity Training. Welcome to our show. I'm so excited about today. I'm bringing you one of my favorite people. I probably say that every month because all these people are my favorite people. But what I want you to know about this show is that All the Things with Julie Miller Davis was created because so many times people tell me that they're sick of doing all the things, and I can tell you that my business was created because so many women entrepreneurs are telling me that they're juggling all the things rather than what is most important in their business and that will grow their business and move it forward so that they can make more money and do fewer things or do the things that are just in their area of genius. So I'm bringing in people who can talk to you about how they help handle all the other things in your business so that you don't have to. So today I am super excited about bringing a smile to your faces with my good friend, Chris Gosnell of Chris Gosnell Photography. Bringing a smile to other people's faces is Chris's greatest joy in life. And if you don't follow her on social media, you definitely should. So Chris will get, when I get her on here, we'll find out her Instagram handle for sure. And that's the best place, I think, to follow her. Being behind a camera, because she is a videographer and photographer, allows her to do just that with the smiles. As a professional photographer and videographer, she lives out her dream by helping business owners, entrepreneurs, speakers, and more feel confident about themselves while creating incredible digital visibility. Assets like headshots, social media videos, speaker reels, and more. With her years of experience, and Chris helps make you and your business stand out and be seen. Her number one goal is to highlight your personality and what makes you special. Chris has been my videographer from the beginning of my business 8 years ago. I'm so happy to have her on today. Please help me welcome to the studio, Chris Gosnell.
Yay!
Yay!
Thank you so much for that warm introduction.
Of course. Hey, I am wondering if we could tell them first thing your Instagram handle so we can get people like following you right away.
Yes, not my name. That one got hacked a little while back, but CG, as in Chris Gosnell, CG Photo Video. That's my Instagram.
At CG Photo Video is her Instagram. And you guys, you should definitely follow her because she will make you smile and laugh all the time and gives awesome tips and just has some phenomenal reels out there. So please follow Chris, follow Chris, follow Chris.
Oh, thank you very much. I do have a lot of fun.
Tell us, so I said a little bit about you, but introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you and your business.
Yeah, I am Chris Gosnell. I really do love people. I started, in photography, actually this month, 18 years ago. Started my business because I love people and I love capturing history and what's happening. And there's just a fun story with that. Should ask me about it sometime.
Okay.
And then about 10 years ago, I made a switch to working with businesses, and about the same time that I started doing video. Because when I was working with businesses, I'm like, I know what business owners need because I am one. I understand what their specific things are that I could do with photography. And then it started to morph into video. They needed video, and I didn't see anybody out there just specializing in working with businesses, just that little target. And I love it. So now I'm really, the more that I dig into it, I almost want to say the wider the offerings become, but then again, not really. It's just really drilling down into what's happening nowadays, what people need for their businesses, and how do I make it very accessible for them? Make it so they understand it. It's not just this nebulous video blob of scariness, but how do I help them? And then offer some great things that they're like, okay, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
That's what I've been enjoying doing.
Awesome. Awesome. I have used Chris she's done well, we did a bunch of video for my early website, my first website. We have done, she videotapes she's my videographer for my event every single year. She creates the promo for my event every year. She also helps film a lot of my testimonials. She's also revamped a lot of my YouTube channel. She's also done filmed my self-study course on Prioritize with Power. I don't even know, and some reels that I've done, has done with me, and probably things I'm not even thinking of. So you guys, there's a gamut of things that you should and could. Oh, she's also done highlight reels for me, and she's come in and not just at my event, but other speaking gigs that I've had. She's come and done and then taken snippets so that I have things to send to event planners. And you don't have to be a speaker to need video either. There's all kinds of uses for video in your marketing, in your business that you probably haven't even thought about. So I'm a fan, as you can tell, and I've used her from the very beginning, and we have really morphed this video thing and made it into something pretty spectacular. And I think you really stand out because there's no one that I know of that does what you do at the depth that you do it for business owners. So it's pretty fun.
Thank you. I try really hard to serve my clients really well and try to get ahead of what they're asking for, get ahead of the curve and be able to offer it to them so that they're not feeling like they're lagging behind. And you're right. If you have a business, you should be on social media because people want to get to know you. They want to hear your voice. They want to see your face. And video is one of the best ways to do it. Yeah. Man, it's like Multiplicity, that old movie way back when Michael Keaton just kept multiplying himself to do all the things. It was like, yeah, video was part of that. Just one of those multipliers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love it. And don't forget promo videos for all those workshops
anything that you're doing. Yeah.
It's just so much fun to make those promos.
Yeah. Well, Chris is in the midst of creating our new video for the upcoming Unstuck event, but also her next project for me is going to be the intro video for this show. So we're working.
Oh, really? Okay. I like that.
We're going to be working on that quite a bit. Every time I show that countdown, I'm like, ah, and then so yes, we need to come up with an all the things intro video.
I'm writing the notes, writing it down.
So Chris, as you know, one of the biggest things that I do at JMD Productivity is work through people's habits around time. So talk to us a little bit about your habits around time.
It really has changed over the years. I do tend to be a little squirrely, I am the quintessential of I need to do this. So I'll write it down, which will remind me of something else. And I'll go to do that, which will remind me of something else. And then I'll go to do that. And then I'm wondering why on earth I'm over here on this side of the room. What was I over here for anyway? I go to sit down and I'm like, I haven't done anything. That has been my way of doing it. But I have really gotten better over the last couple of years of writing my notes, what I need to do. It's more of a brain dump, like you say. And then what are the biggest things I need to get done? And then going back to it frequently. That's the big one, is going back to my notes. And you know what? I don't tend to work a full 8-hour day. I just don't. I work hard. When I work, I do a lot of good things. And then when I'm done with work, I leave it. I can leave it alone and come back to it later because of all the good habits I've had with it, which has been great. Doesn't bother me. I can, weekends, vacations, I leave it.
You can leave it. I love it. I love it. What is a kind of roadblock or problem you've had in your business, either recently or in the last several months, and what did you do to solve it?
Big one was finding what my clients needed. And that was very vague. But the solving was getting together with a couple of people and asking questions and then coming up with an idea. So for instance, reels. I do a lot with reels. Yes, the vertical video can be fun. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple, but yet so many people just don't even understand reels at all in the least bit, what to do with them, how to do them, why do them, why do I need to show my face, all the things. So I kept going back to it and thinking it over. How do I make this good for people? How do I make this easy for them? And how do they get a hold of it and really make it work for them?
Mm-hmm.
Coming up with some ideas and then running it by a group of ladies in my my business coaching group. We are amazing together.
You all
good
are
friends and such a powerhouse group. Running it by them and saying, okay, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Does this make sense? So that was the big changer for me, was having that group of ladies to be able to run things by. And not just in my business time, my business coaching time, but off camera too.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of the group, being able to say, what do you ladies think of this? Do you like it? Do you not? What makes sense? What doesn't? And getting that feedback.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so powerful to have a group of business owners who they become friends, but really the initial goal is around business. So they're not afraid to hold you accountable and ask hard questions and give really constructive feedback. And I think that's where a lot of people, I think, struggle when they're trying to grow their businesses, is they pull in friends to be their accountability, and to, and friends, we have so much latitude in our friendships, and so much like, it's okay. And when we're in a group of business women and have investment in it, right? Not just a group of people we bring together. I mean, we can all do that, but at the end of the day, if we're not investing in that group, somehow, you have a lot more, you have skin in the game, and everybody has permission to say the hard things and to not always give you so much latitude. And yes, of course there's grace, and of course there's empathy and understanding, but there's also like, okay, great, so what are you going to do about that? Right? It's not, it's totally a different feeling.
Well, and true. And they'll get all up in your business because they know, they have that feeling of, if my business doesn't work, I'm not paying the bills, I'm not getting things done. They understand that. So when you're really looking for answers, you're not looking for a placating, oh, that's so pretty, honey.
Right.
Like your friends might do, and not really call you out on crap.
Exactly.
But your business friends, they will.
Exactly. So at JMD Productivity, as you know, big part of why people work with me and what I put out there and how I live is that piece of re-energizing and recharging and making sure that you are taking that time to not be engaged in your business, which you already alluded to, that you're pretty good at. When you're off, you're off, and when you're on. What do you do? What does Chris Gosnell do to recharge that battery?
I love to be physical. So I love to go out and walk, run, races. The races are more for me long-term. Short-term, go to the gym, go for a nice long walk / run, depending on if I'm getting ready for a race, depending on what that looks like, how long it is.
Yeah.
And oh man, I love it. I love spending time outside in my head, just thinking about things, listening to music, listening to audiobooks. It's great fun. And then I can be back with people again. Mm-hmm. It's kind of, I am definitely an extrovert, but man, I do like my alone time too.
Yeah.
I think that came from growing up by myself.
Yeah.
Growing up lonely. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's what's important to note about Chris when she talks about running races. Like, she just did her a half marathon in Hawaii for her 50th birthday.
I did for my
50th. But with the racing and the running and all of that, you have goals set around that activity, and it's part of that recharge also. I think it's always important that we have goals outside of business that we're trying, because anything that we're doing like that is going to make us mentally stronger, physically stronger, and helps us in business. And we're also recharging and fueling ourselves in such a great manner and in a refresh that is different than slogging along, which we sometimes feel we're doing in business.
You're totally there. You said it. Well, you're right. I really think that people should do hard things on a regular basis. Something that takes them a long time to do, something that takes them a time to accomplish, goals along the way. And when you're done with it, you're just going, dang straight, I did that. It was hard and I did it. We don't generally have that in life. As adults, we try to make our lives as easy and simple as possible. We don't purposefully put things in there that are hard. And these races, man, you're right. It takes about 4 months to train for a half marathon. And that's, a couple of days a week, continually. And if you don't, that makes it a lot harder on yourself.
Exactly.
When I am done and I pass that finish line, yes, people finished it faster than I did. Heck of it. I'm generally in the back of the pack, but I still finished the same 13.1 miles they did.
Yeah.
And I did it, where a lot of folks don't.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of myself, no matter what.
As you should be. Yeah. It's no small feat. It is no small feat. So I am curious. Chris has been with me from the very beginning of my business. She did a lot of my early workshops and different things that I offered, and then came into my program, my Unstuck program, and then has continued with me as a client. But I'm wondering, Chris, because you've been with me from like the get-go. I'm wondering, what is the biggest tool or tip that you've implemented that you've learned from JMD?
Do it, dump it, or delegate it. One of the two, or delegate it or dump it. It's like, if it sits there, like I said, I made my lists. Every day I make my lists. And if it still stays on there, I have to look at it, and I literally will hear you in my head and thinking, do I really need to do this? Do I need to just delegate it to somebody else? Or do I just need to dump it? What is this thing? Is it going to get me further on in the day? Is it going to make my business move forward? Or do I just need to, okay, you know what? Someone else do this for me.
Yeah.
And thank God I'm in a part of my business now where I can do that. I can actually have people to delegate things to, get them done, and then just go on and make more business for all of us.
Right. Right.
That's the biggest one, man. Seriously, do it, delegate it, or dump it. I will tell you the biggest one was that idea around the delegation. Because again, we generally think as business owners, no, nobody can do it as good as us.
Yep.
May be true, may be very true. But if they can get it 80% there and I only have to finish up to 20%, well, all right then. How much more meeting with clients, getting more business, actually doing the work that only I can do, can I do if I'm not worrying about that 80% that someone else did really just fine?
Yes.
And then if I train them even better, they can probably get it to 90, 95, maybe even 100% finished up. And then how much more can I just make more business for all of us?
Exactly.
That's the best one so far.
I love it. I love it. So
80%,
good.
man, 80%. If someone can get it 80% of the way there, how much more helpful is that?
So another thing that I talk about on this show is what you're reading or listening to, or what are you doing for professional or personal development. And right now I'm reading a book. It's an old book. It was written in the 80s, called The Mental Game by James Lohr. It's a tennis book. I know it's the second tennis book I've read this year that I'm telling you all about, but it's really phenomenal about keeping intensity and keeping confidence and that kind of thing, because I was having some issues in my tennis game with what I call letdown. Like in the middle of a match, I'd all of a sudden not be able to keep pushing and like I'd win, and then I'd just like lose the second set or whatever and couldn't keep it up. So my tennis coach gave me this book to read, and it's been amazing. So whether it may not even be of any interest to any of you because you're not an athlete or you're not into tennis, but it helps me with business also, even though it doesn't talk about that. But Chris, I'm curious, what, and that mental game is by a man named James Loher, Loher is his name. And it's a short little book. But Chris, I am wondering if there's anything that you are reading or listening to, or anyone that you follow on social that helps you in that professional or self-development, personal development arena.
Funny you should mention tennis, because my stuff is more around running. I am not your average runner. I am not a tall, thin blonde. I'm just a lovely blonde, neither tall nor thin. And folks will look and just think, oh, well, you can't run because you don't have a runner's body. Well, I run and I have a body, so apparently I have a runner's body. But a book I'm starting now, right? You like that?
Mm-hmm.
It's this fun one, and it's actually, I kid you not, called Slow AF Run Club.
The Slow AF Run Club. How much do I love that? Love that.
Right? I love it. It's a newer one. I haven't quite started it yet, but because it just came out, but I've been looking forward to it. I follow a couple of folks on Instagram that are bigger runners, over 250 pounds. A couple of them are women. One man in particular, his thing is the 300-pound runner. And looking at him and thinking, yeah, I so enjoy that people are just getting out there, doing what they do, not letting the mind monkeys get a hold of you and tell you you can't do something that you can. No, I'm not the fastest one out there. I'm a pretty slow runner. But you know what? I am finishing it and I'm getting it done.
You're doing it.
And I enjoy it. I will not let someone else steal that joy from me.
No.
Not in the least.
Awesome. Awesome. So I have one last question for you, which is I'd love to highlight anything that you have going on in your business or coming up in your business that you want to highlight or give away or offer to our audience. Would love to get them in touch with you.
When we talked about how I'm really trying to have offerings for my clients, things they understand, because it can just be very nebulous to say, let's make video. What kind of video? What am I going to do with it? How's it going to pay me back? What all these things. So what I'm creating now is, yes, I have editing. I can make promos. I can do all these fun things, reels, YouTube video, curriculum, all the stuff. What I'm creating now is quarterly time that you can make all of your social media, all of your content, whether it be YouTube, social media, website video, all the things, once a quarter. Just come in the studio, take an hour of time or however much we need, however many couple hours, whatever, and make all your stuff. How nice is that? Just to have it all done.
Yeah.
You came in, you made your stuff, you planned, came in and filmed. Whatever you can get filmed in that time, you get it done. We'll edit, put it all together for you, send it back to you. And then you don't have to think about it again. You just set it.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, now I'm going on with my business and I can do all the other things.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things I'm coming up with. I haven't put it on my website yet, but I'm working on it.
How do people get a hold of you, Chris?
On my website, which is chrisgosnell.com. I know, shocker. Any of the buy now, any of those things, the contact, they all go to one space where you can choose a call with me, a 30-minute discovery call.
Okay.
So you can start there. And I love to chat, find out about your business, who you are, what kind of things you want to accomplish, and make some goals with you. Now, I'm going to be traveling too here in a little bit. Go visit some of our e-women folk all over.
Awesome.
And so it's not just here in Colorado Springs, but I might be traveling to your area. We could do those.
And that's what I want to highlight for you about you also is, she talked about this in-studio thing that she's offering with the video, quarterly videos, but I want you to know that you can also make your own videos that she will edit and make them into reels for you. And she has programs and packages that do that, where you can make your videos at home with your phone in the vertical and then send them to her, and then she will edit and send them back to you or to your social media person, and then you can post them and use them. So there's ways to engage with Chris even if you're not local to Colorado Springs. So make sure that if nothing else, you're following her. She'll follow you back and get engaged with her. You can DM her on Instagram. You can also find her on her website at chrisgosnell.com and contact her there. Chris,
Absolutely.
thank you for your time today. I appreciate you so much. And I'm going to,
And you, Julie.
I just adore you, as you know. And hopefully we've had some takeaways today. And Chris, I'm gonna say goodbye to you and just wrap things up, and I'll see you in a minute.
Thank you very much, everyone.
And that's our interview with Chris Gosnell today on All the Things with Julie Miller Davis. We've got some things coming up. Mark your calendar. We'll be live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, again with All the Things on Monday, July 10th. But in the meantime, and we're featuring Lisa Rabel, the Rebel Marketing Girl, in July. I'm so excited to have you meet Lisa. But I want you to know that our Unstuck event tickets are on sale now. Early bird. They will not be cheaper than they are right now. Please go to unstuckevent.com for more info and to grab your early bird ticket. We are a hybrid event, so you can attend online or in person here in Colorado Springs. October 25, 26, 27. Chris Gosnell is one of our sponsors, and she's also going to be a presenter at our pre-con, which we are adding this year. So excited. And we are launching another Unstuck program as of today. My 6-month program launches. If it's something that you're interested in, it's still not too late to have a call with me. I'd love to talk with you. Thanks, everybody. Until next month, this is All the Things with Julie Miller Davis.